Adam, we're back.
We are.
It's been a couple weeks. Things have been busy. It's summer.
Yes.
It has been
Hot.
literally the threshold of hell hot in Oklahoma. And
Things that shouldn't. It just shouldn't happen. 112 shouldn't happen.
I've just been laying around in my Fruit of the Looms. It's nothing else.
Things you can't get back.
Yeah, or unsee.
That's
Things that you can't unsee. It has been so hot in Oklahoma. At one point, part of the state, in southwest part of the state, I believe, hit 115 degrees.
and it wasn't on fire yet.
No, it was not on fire, but it does make you realize your need for Jesus.
That's all we got out of it.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
I need the Lord because I can't do this for eternity.
If hell is warmer than Hollis was on that day, Oklahoma, Mangum, Oklahoma, then we're all in trouble.
Yeah. So you're a sinner.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Adam, I received some horrific news via a Facebook post.
All right. I'm intrigued.
Oh, I sent it to you.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Dang it. I was almost over it at this point.
A staple of really our dietary ways.
I don't even...
A staple of Western Oklahoma.
I don't even want to go anymore.
A staple of Roger Mills County. A staple of my original hometown of Radin, Oklahoma. The Hilltop Cafe. Which you would say, in your expert opinion, and I believe that you do have an expert opinion, though you do have a really horrible recommendation in that crap hole place in El Reno that we ate.
It's a different It's just a different burger.
Yeah,
it's a different style.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Brahms versus some hipster parfait place or something. You know what I mean? Like it's just anyway.
Yeah.
But
they're world-renowned burgers. It's just not your cup of tea.
Yeah, they're world-renowned for not being that great. But the Hilltop Cafe in Radin, which you have said is a top what for you?
It is a top 5 burger.
You even said the other day
it could
top
be
3.
even a top 3 burger.
You said top 3.
Dependent upon the day, it could be a top 3 burger. It's just quality. It's everything you want in a greasy diner cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And it is wonderful. But we did receive bad news. I received bad news via you.
Well, I mean, it was. It took me a minute to screenshot it.
Had to wipe the tears from your eyes before you could actually type out the text. Yeah.
They've announced that the Hilltop Cafe in Radin is closing.
It is closed at this point, if I believe.
Yeah, I believe today was actually.
I think this was it. Thursday at 8. We got time.
What time is it? Just yet. I'm gonna be there tomorrow, and it's not even an option for me.
I know.
We didn't even get we didn't even get to say goodbye.
Just died on us.
We didn't even get a chance to say goodbye.
Never say that. That was one of the lines in my at PC North. What's the song? Like, what do they call the song that you sing? Like
your school fight song?
Not the school fight song. It's like the alma mater song or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. That was one of the lines, and it was like, "We'll never say goodbye."
I remember the East Central University fight song.
Yeah.
You know why I remember it?
Why is that?
Because a part of the hazing aspect for the football players is that they would take us after 2-a-days. And speaking of hot, my freshman year at East Central University, playing for the East Central Tigers, defensive lineman.
Rawr.
I remember my first afternoon practice. I had on a black helmet, black shoulder pads, black pants, black jersey, black shoes. August, I remember walking out, and the Kerr Dome is where the basketball team plays when basketball's done. And there's the time and temp on the Kerr Dome. Do you know what the temperature was? 112.
112.
It said it was 112 degrees in August of 2000 for going out for a 2.5 hour practice. Every day after practice, during those 2-a-days, I would go back to the dorm and I would lay in bed and I'd say, I'm quitting. I cannot do this. Every part of me hurt. Have you ever hurt between your pinky toe and the toe next to it, like it hurt in between it, the muscle in between it?
That's a whole nother level of pain.
I didn't have an ounce of me that was not sore and hurt. Like you couldn't do. It didn't matter what movement I made. I started cramping. It was horrible. And so every day I was like, I'm quitting.
You
I'm
need to
quitting.
take a salt tablet.
Oh, bro. I mean, and you didn't get water breaks. They're like, if you want to drink water, you've got about 4.5 seconds between drills.
Yeah.
While you wait in line for you to get a drink, that's when you get a drink.
Yeah.
That's when we got to drink, and it was just
the science
was literal.
Hadn't caught up with coaching yet.
It was hell.
Yeah.
Literally one of the hardest things that I've ever done. And we got these shirts that said "Veni Vidi Vici." I came, I saw, I conquered, and I've never owned a shirt that I was more proud of owning that year when I got that shirt. But what they did is they took us all after 2 days was over. They'd have this big barbecue at this ranch that had a freshwater spring in it. Mm-hmm. And we'd all go out there, and like the Palm Squad came and the cheerleaders came. Do you know what they made us do? Us freshmen?
No.
Strip down to our underwear.
Did you wear your pink ones?
I don't remember what they were.
I've blocked it all out.
I've blocked it all out. It was a super awkward situation. You know, here's the cheerleaders and Palm Squad, and I'm in my drawers. But you get in this spring cold water up to your neck. And the upperclassmen stood around, and you had to sing the fight song in completion before you can get out.
Was this a long fight song?
I'm going to sing it for you.
Okay.
Fight on, East Central Tigers, win this game. We're cheering for you, cheering till the end. So fight on, East Central Tigers, win. We had to sing the whole thing in its entirety before we could get out of the water. Mm-hmm. So when you add trauma to a song, you have a tendency to remember it.
You're deeply, deeply scarred.
Deeply scarred. But the Hilltop Cafe has announced that it is closing in Raiden, Oklahoma, and so I would just can we just take a moment?
We'll never say goodbye. We also sang a line, we'll never see it die, referring to the song because it was about 8 minutes long. It was ridiculous.
No, that's too long.
It was way too long.
Yeah, that's too long.
It had like 8 stanzas and 14 choruses. We were like, who wrote this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not well thought out.
Not well thought out.
You know, there's some songs that are long. It's not Stairway to Heaven. I listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Adam, this podcast is brought to you by
our friends at Deer Camp Coffee.
Deer Camp Coffee. Our friends at Deer Camp Coffee right here. If you can't tell, these are actual
K-Cups.
Yeah, these are the K-Cups. Lots of different options and versions of the Deer Camp Coffee. This is the opening day blend right here. Whoa, I'm throwing it
Easy.
at people. Coming in K-Cups, so if you're a Keurig type person, K-Cup kind of guy or gal.
Casey had a cup of Huntress this morning.
Oh, did she really?
The pink bag?
No, it's
the
really
chocolate.
Good. It's got the chocolate
blend.
I feel like a wuss saying this, but the blueberry, it's got the hint of blueberry.
I haven't tried it yet. Is it good?
Oh, make me want to slap your mama.
She'd fight back.
She would fight back.
Yes, she would. She'd get a stool and she'd punch you in the face.
Yeah, she would.
Ask my brother.
Ask my brother. He found that out one time?
Oh, yes.
She let him have it.
Oh, yeah. Right in the chin.
It.
Just smacks him.
I love that. That is really, really awesome.
Oh,
that your mom threw hands on your brother.
Oh, yeah. Threw hands.
So it's been really, really hot. And
which is not, you can't put words to it quite fully. How hot.
No.
It's the kind of hot you feel like you can't breathe.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I feel like you walk out into a hairdryer, straight south wind, 15 mile an hour, steady, just hairdryer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a great way to put it. It's too hot to be outside doing activities, which also feels like it's kind of put me behind a little bit. Yeah, because it's been so hot. I don't have as many trail cameras out as I would like. Yeah, I don't have,
and the ones that are out, the batteries have all exploded.
Yeah, it's just it really has been one of the hottest summers that I remember.
And what is that stuff that comes out of the sky?
Well, it rained today.
It did
for the
it
first time.
It was like,
not enough. Exactly. Not enough.
it was a dribble.
It was a dribble. Yeah, it was a little bit of a dribble. We had a little bit of water today. Not enough. It's all it did was just make humidity.
It just made it worse.
We shot videos today.
We did.
We shot interviews for the show.
We are both wearing shirts that are wet.
Yes, this shirt has leaked through.
You notice they're both black. It's because there's a reason that I wear black in the summer.
There is too.
You know what you don't wear?
White.
Gray.
Oh, yeah.
Gray is the nemesis.
So the other day, Sterling's doing soccer camp, and I'm sitting in. It's hot. It's legit 102 at 8:00 at night, and I'm sitting in my little chair, and this mom comes walking up. She came straight from work. I don't know what she does, but she is in a skin tight skirt.
Not well thought out.
In heels, hair done up, full makeup, jewelry, the whole bit, carrying a laptop,
Not
and a folding chair. She comes and sits down next to me. And her kid's on the same field as Sterling, and they're running around or whatever, and she's kind of working. She's doing some phone calls or whatever. Anyway, when we were done and we all stood up, I already knew what was happening with my house. I knew what was happening. You sit in 102-degree heat for an hour and a half, you are going to have an immense amount of butt sweat. Oh, it just looks like somebody poured a bottle of water right down your butt crack.
Yep.
It is what it is.
It's just part of being in 102.
It is, right?
It just is what it is.
That poor woman.
I feel bad for her.
She had it was like a dark gray.
Gray, like the most contrasting of showing sweat on
from the top of her back all the way down.
Just looked like a skunk.
It looked like she had just won the Super Bowl. And they dumped the Gatorade down her back.
Oh, gosh.
She was covered in sweat, and I felt sorry for her, you know what I mean? Because like me, I'm just like, I'm a big burly guy, like whatever, I don't care. But I did feel sorry for she was a lady, I felt bad. Like she had the butt sweat.
Yeah. That's part of life.
It just is what it is. We all embrace it. We all understand it.
It's just part of it.
But it's been so hot here, and it makes me want to leave.
Yeah. I did leave.
You did, and that's kind of was the segue.
Yeah.
You just got back from Pensacola, Florida.
From the Pensacola's.
Now, is that your first trip to Pensacola?
That was my first time to be in Pensacola.
Oh, it's my favorite beach.
It was really cool. We went with 4 other families from church.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. There was quite a group of people, and we did it intelligently. We went with 3 nurses and 2 firemen.
Ah, that's the way to go right there. Yeah.
It was the safest trip I have ever been on, officially.
I still love the trip of you guys driving back from Disney, and you all got the flu, and you're driving back running like 103 fever, puking out the side of the car as you're going down the road.
That was the first time, and it's never happened again, that I took Hurley to that emergency care clinic deal.
Yeah.
Not the emergency room, but the clinic, and he laid down in the chair, and I looked over him, and because the nurse that was in the room was like, "Your son's not looking." And I look over him, and he's pale, and I'm like, "Well, he died."
Yeah, I lost my boy.
I went and shook him, and I'm like, "Hurley, wake up, Hurley!" And he's just that he was that sick, that sick and that tired that I literally had to hold him up by his shoulders, and he was doing the bobblehead thing while the doctor's checking him out, like just sick as a dog. And we did that the whole way home because it was like he got sick, then Josie got sick, and then Casey got sick, and then I took the last bullet.
Yeah.
And it was about Memphis that I realized we have a problem. And we're not even close.
I tell you what, Memphis is not a great place to have a problem.
No, it is not.
It's not. It's
not.
Yeah, West Memphis is not a great place to be broke down. Though, if you're ever there and you get an opportunity to eat at Ching's Wings
or Rendezvous Barbecue.
Okay.
Charlie's Barbecue. No, it starts with a C. I can't remember. There's a Central Barbecue.
Okay.
Me and my dad, when we went and picked up my white Jeep that I used to have a long time ago, he was like, "We'll go."
For a guy that's not very old, you have driven a lot of vehicles.
Not really. Well,
yeah, no. Sorry.
Six.
No, it's been more than that.
So I had a 1986 Chevy Celebrity Eurosport. That was the first car.
Yeah, we've talked about that before on the
This
podcast.
is my favorite car ever.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it until you brought it up.
The thing was a tank.
Okay.
We still got to find one. They make a station wagon version of it, right? Imagine every shoot we go to from here on out, we roll up in a 1986 Eurosport Celebrity station wagon.
Well, I know this. I better find a big stick to beat the ladies off because I could see that being a problem. All right. So you drove the old Sport. What else you got?
Yeah. Then I took the money from that thing when it got totaled and drove a
moped. You bought a moped because that's all.
That was later down the line. No, we're not there yet. I got a 1999 VW Golf, which is a little hatchback, thing that you think you're gonna fix up.
Did you have a girlfriend? Was there women involved in your
multiple
life?
girlfriends? That thing was awesome. I had sweet rims on it. Had the little fart can, like.
Oh my god!
That was a phase. That was a phase of life.
All right.
That was shortly before the Mohawk phase.
Okay.
So then after that, I gave that car to Austin when he turned 16, and that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. And then my brother. And then I bought a VW GTI, which is like the hatchback, but it's turbo.
Okay.
So I got a much faster version. That one, I took a corner going about 65, tried to e-brake it, and almost went onto the turnpike from Memorial.
Okay.
That's another story. Then, after that car, we had, what came next after that? Then I drove blue.
This segment is brought to you by
Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the train in the background, but
did we ever reach out to
you know
them
what?
yet?
Them jerks never email me back.
They never did?
Well, haven't reached out to them.
Ungrateful.
They don't realize the opportunity that's before them.
Sitting.
It's a gold mine.
You're sitting on a gold mine, Trebek.
That's right. Little did they know. All right, so there's three.
So old blue, 1994, Chevy Silverado.
Okay.
Extended cab. Drove that dude.
I mean, that was the years of the like a rock.
Yes.
As strong as I could be. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So drove that. From there, that's when I got the white Jeep. So
okay.
It's like a Wrangler, 4-door Wrangler. I don't remember what
you realize we're at 4 vehicles, and
Yeah.
you said you've drove 6.
Yeah. Something like that. So moving on.
Okay.
We had the Jeep. Then I went to. They're all starting to run together at this point. There's probably only like 6.
There's not.
Okay, so we're at 4. I know I've had George, who I currently drive.
Uh-huh.
And then we got the white Ram that I made money on selling that dude. And then what did I drive before that?
There was another truck of some kind.
What was that truck? Oh, the white Silverado. It was a 94 white Silverado I bought. It was a C&G. Right. I brought it at the Daykill auction.
That's right. And then
before that was the Civic.
The Civic.
The Honda Civic.
Yeah.
So that's it. So 8.
8. You've had 8 cars.
8 vehicles.
Yeah, 8 cars.
Yeah. Made money on every one of them.
Except that one you gave to your brother.
Yeah. I think it was a good investment giving that one away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So lots of vehicles. Got experience. Got the whole gamut.
Right. But you guys went to Florida, and you guys had a great time, man. I just got to live vicariously through your wife's Facebook posts.
Yeah, it was fun. The waves when we were there were... I remember you telling me, you're like, hey, man, it's just the most beautiful crystal clear water and stuff. And the first day we got out there, I walked out to the beach, seaweed.
Yeah.
Solid.
I've seen multiple... like. All the way down, like Destin, all the way through. It's just seaweed.
It was so seaweedy, but it still was better than Galveston.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Better than Galveston.
No offense to Galveston, Texas.
No, it was.
But Galveston is the trailer park of beaches.
No, Daytona.
No, you're right.
Daytona.
You chose to go there for your honeymoon.
No. I went to Panama City for my honeymoon.
Okay.
And then when we went to Disney.
I mean, I've been to Daytona too. I mean, I can't.
Daytona's fun because it's a drive-on beach.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So that's kind of cool. Like you literally drive your car out and back up to the spot you're gonna.
Yeah, we stayed in this beautiful hotel that overlooked the ocean, right on the ocean. And Matthias got sick.
This is at Daytona?
At Daytona.
Yeah.
And we were probably on like the 12th floor. Beautiful view. Oh, it's gorgeous. You know, just had the door kicked open, just like breeze blowing in off the ocean. Yeah. He got sick, and he's like, "Daddy, my stomach doesn't feel good." And next thing I know, he jumps up, and I can tell he's about to puke. He runs onto the balcony and pukes off the balcony into the bar. Of the restaurant. People everywhere. He pukes into the bar.
Did they kick you out?
No, they didn't know who it was because he was only like 5. And so, but he puked out over the balcony or through the balcony down into the bar, and I quickly grabbed him, pulled him back in, and we shut the door and pretended like it never happened. Because what else, you know what I mean? Like, what else are you going to do?
This reminds me of, did you know we almost got kicked out of our hotel in Pensacola? I haven't told you this.
No, I don't know this story.
It almost got legitimately had the HOA and the hotel manager both come bust in our door. So on Tuesday night, so we roll in on Monday, check in, go out on the water, hang out stuff. We go eat dinner that night, come back in. Tuesday.
Did you ever go eat at Peg Leg Pete's?
No, we didn't get to go.
Stupid.
No, I know.
You're so dumb.
No, I wasn't making the decision, so I was just there.
Okay.
I was just there. Anyway, Tuesday night. We brought a bunch of hamburger meat. Said those other people, we were the only like condo, because the hotel that they were staying in next door to us, they had no more rooms. So we were staying in a condo, which ended up being awesome. Like we upgraded. We were in a 3-bedroom home for the whole week. It was lovely.
Awesome.
So we were there and brought everybody over. Well, we're eating, and we got a big giant balcony. And so the adults were all inside hanging out, talking and everything. And then as we're sitting there, some guy knocks on the door. And it's this guy that's the HOA manager.
Okay.
Little guy. And my neighbor Brock opens the door, and he's just letting Brock have it. And I'm like, better you than me? He's just talking to him. And then he comes in and he goes, somebody said they saw someone throwing chips off of the balcony into the pool down below. And all of us turn and look at 4 of my turd head youth boys standing there, and all of them are like, so they had been chucking chips off the top of the balcony onto the pool down below, and what set them off is apparently one of them threw a pickle slice, and it like landed on somebody or something, and then that's when it all went down. And so then the guy that, you know how they got a guy that manages like properties or whatever, HOA guy calls the guy that manages the property. The guy that manages the property comes up, knocks on the door, and says, hey, they want me to throw you out. And I'm like, I look over at those boys, and all of them were like, oh. And so it was a fun night. And so now all of them, like last Wednesday night, they come up to me and they're like, hey, remember when we almost got you kicked out of your hotel room? I was like, yeah, remember when I almost threw you off a balcony?
Yeah. God, teenagers are so stupid.
Well, it's the rule. You have one boy, you have one boy. If you have 2 boys, you know how many boys you have? You have half of a boy. If you get 3 boys together, you know how many boys you have? You have 0 boys.
Yeah.
So
this was a sign that was made for me from my youth ministry days.
Yes.
And we would get off the bus, and I would address teenagers on any trip that we ever went on. And I would say, you, first and foremost, represent Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Number 2, you represent whatever church it was that I was working for. And I said, and lastly, you represent me. And also, here's the deal. Stupidity's a disease. Please don't spread it to the rest of the group. If you're an idiot, don't get everybody else in trouble by making idiot decisions. And so this is in the office. It's a friendly reminder. to all my children.
Yes.
And it sounds like I need to loan it to you.
Well, here's the thing. When we went to youth camp, you know what rule I told them?
What's that? Stupidity's a disease.
I said, this is coming from my friend Brad Clay.
Words of wisdom from Brad Clay.
And I said, everybody repeat after me. Stupidity is a disease. Do not spread it to the rest of the group. And everybody. Right. So those boys, if they watch this podcast, I'm going to tell them they're going to watch this podcast.
Oh, you need to listen, boys. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. The Todd. That's who we call one of these boys. The Todd. Well, talking to you. Ben Weathers. Talking to you.
Can we name minors on the program?
Doing it. Wiley Terrell.
Oh, he sounds like trouble.
Looking. Yeah, the old coyote.
Wiley Coyote Terrell.
Old coyote.
What grade are these boys in?
This is a 6th, 7th, and an 8th grader.
Yep, well, sounds about right.
And when you got 3 of them together, you got a grand total of 0 boys.
Yeah. But no bad decisions being made. Throwing chips and pickles.
They are good kids, and you know how they were. You know they are good kids because after they made their decision and we all looked at them, the life left them.
Well, you know, one of my favorite videos to watch are juveniles being sentenced in court.
Oh gosh!
And so I don't know if that theory's correct or not.
Dark obsession.
No, it's dark, but it's enjoyable. Just Google that one up. Minors being sentenced in court, you know, and watching them realize at 17 years old.
You know how I feel better about my life?
Yeah,
watching children being punished at the highest degree of severity.
I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm not going to apologize.
Hey, they made their choice. Make your bed, you sleep in it.
And I'm licensed and ordained. I can forgive myself.
You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes.
That was a joke about the whole license. I don't want anybody emailing me complaining about that. So it's been hot. Yes. All those things. I've been. I coached my son Josiah's 8U coach pitch team this summer.
Yes.
I was really worried because I have 12 boys on the team and 7 of them have never played baseball.
That's scary.
And I'm like, we are going to get drummed.
That's scary.
Guess what? We drummed everybody. Those boys, I mean, talk about stepping up to the plate, literally and figuratively, and did awesome. I've just been busy summer with our kids. I got a high schooler. Matthias is in high school.
You have a high schooler.
He is going to be a freshman in high school. He's doing baseball, Oklahoma Christian Academy, where he goes to school, drop football. And so they play fall and spring baseball, and which is great because that's all he plays is baseball. He loves baseball. And so he has been working his tail off. My daughter Ava played softball this summer and getting ready for soccer. That's kind of been her sport. But she's really excelled at soccer and doing really well, but they won in softball. They won their league as well, so that was pretty exciting. But just been busy with kid stuff all summer. Ready for school to start.
Yes.
Ready for kids to go back to school.
Yes.
So they're not. I can't believe they haven't busted in here yet.
Yeah. Well, it's because there's 102-degree barrier between
that is true.
the house.
That's true. We have to cross lava because they probably don't have shoes on.
The floor is lava.
They're gonna have to run across those paper rocks.
Burn wounds.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you've mixed the labyrinth of the little tiny rocks in there too. Those are killer.
Yeah. So now if it doesn't burn you, they're gonna stab you.
Yeah.
But anyway, the episode's been great. We've rolled through. Our first 5 episodes are out. And how it works for us, we do 13 original episodes a year, and we rerun 5. We do 5 episodes, and then we rerun 5 episodes, and then we do another 5 episodes, rerun those 5, and then we do 3 and rerun 3. And a lot of shows do just their 13 all the way through,
and then rerun 13,
and then they rerun 13. We don't do that. We spaced it out just because for people that are DVRing the show, setting it to record. You know, you're going to get 5, and then you got a couple weeks off. You don't get any new ones. And all of a sudden, here comes Final Descent again, back up on your DVR, and then we're gone for a little bit, and then boom, we come back again. So it spaces us out over that 6 months that we are nationally, where you can kind of catch us and catch new episodes. But man, it's been great. The first 5 episodes have been awesome. And a lot of people don't know this. We have an employee.
Yeah,
it's not just me and you. One of our staffers, Jake Cornish, who is an incredible editor, just talented.
Yeah.
Videographer, editor, just does great with media in general. We hired Jake, and so he's been helping us do editing stuff.
He's been doing all kinds of things.
Yeah.
He's been an amazing asset to
Hey,
the
Jake,
team.
we don't want to do this. Will you do it? That's pretty much how the conversations go.
Jake, Adam's drowning. Can you make sure he comes up for air?
Yeah. Could you handle some of this for me? Could you handle some of this for us, bud?
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
But the episodes have been awesome. But it's been a bit since we sat down to do a podcast, and one of the podcasts we did not super long ago.
Yeah, a roadcast.
A roadcast. It was a roadcast.
It's been a mixture of.
I know. They run together.
Busyness.
You mentioned that you.
Oh boy, what did I say?
That if you were locked in a room, and had to fight off. This was based off of a haunted house that I went through, where somebody threw a chicken at me in a haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that if you were in a normal, just 13 by 16 room, that you could be in that room with 500 roosters,
kill every one of them.
And that you
with
would
my
be able
bare hands in my underwear, I believe is what I said.
There's no way.
You don't know. You haven't seen me go there.
Adam, I can't rub a knot in your back without you wilting and falling on the floor.
But I'm not there yet. That's the thing, is there's different thresholds that your brain enters. And when I know,
what if it's too late? What if you don't enter it quick enough in the?
It's a fight or flight situation.
Roosters.
You understand, and you know that at that point in time, your brain kicks in, and you go into this superhuman thing.
I wish I believed.
I would float through that room killing chickens. I'd be looking at them; they'd be dying. I told you, one in each hand by the feet. They'd be like ninja chucks, chicken cut chuck. I can't even say it, but I'd be beating the tar out of them with.
Chicken
until that chicken was gone. Chicken chucks. Sounds like something you get at KFC. Have you ever get your chicken chuck platter?
Get the chicken chuck bowl. Just put some corn and mashed potatoes on top of it.
TM.
Oh, I love it.
I'd eat it.
Chicken chucks.
I'd eat chicken chucks.
Oh, what if they did put a little chain in between a couple strips? You just
into the mouth.
So you saying that you could fight off 500 chickens, one of the most ridiculous things that I've ever heard in my life.
That's fine. Just because it's ridiculous doesn't mean it's not true.
No, actually, I want to disagree.
No.
It's just
just because it's ridiculous doesn't mean it's not true.
I did a survey, Adam.
Okay.
I polled
these
an audience.
Chicken experts or something?
Well, actually, there are some people that do spend quite a bit of time with chickens that I talk to.
Okay.
And so can we cut to these people?
Your expert quote, air quote panel?
It's just people. Kendall Jones, some other folks that
I'm supposed to take Kendall Jones. You're telling me right now.
Listen.
You're getting real desperate.
Listen, buddy. Listen.
Real desperate.
Kendall Jones has looked at a male lion in the eye.
She looked 500 chickens in the eye.
She has looked a male.
I want to know how many chickens Kendall Jones looked in the face and thought, I got to fight to my death against these chickens.
The most, no.
Hey, I'd let out my strongest.
The most qualified person to talk about.
Okay.
I feel like Kendall.
I'm not fighting a room full of lions.
Well, I realize
fighting a room full of roosters.
I realize that. Maybe with the heart of a lion.
No, the heart of the lion's dwelling in me at that moment.
No, it's not a heart of a lion.
Yes, it is.
No.
Just ninja lion.
It's the heart of a Wyandotte warrior. A Wyandotte Indian warrior.
Adam started speaking in tongues.
Yeah.
He was floating around the room and levitating, chicken chucking people.
Chicken chucking people. Oh, my gosh. All right.
This is going to be another T-shirt, chicken chucking. I'm going to make a ninja with 2 chickens. he's chucking them. Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, you are wearing.
Yeah, I got the China Pearl shirt. Well, at least we think it says China Pearl.
We would love to sell more of those.
Yeah.
If you listen to the podcast, you want to support the podcast and what we do, you can go to finaldescentoutdoors.com. We have a whole line of podcast
inside joke t-shirts.
Inside joke t-shirts. We have the Kendall Jones, I Hate Myself Too, which is one of my favorite.
That's a good one.
This is the China Pearl. At least we believe that's what it says, according to Google Translator.
Yeah.
And then we also have the Phallus Hole.
The Phallus Hole t-shirt. I forgot about that one.
The old Phallus Hole shirt. So anyway, we're going to watch this video. There's some people kind of talking about how many chickens they thought they could fight off in a room.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what they I'll entertain it.
Okay. All right.
I'll allow it.
Let's watch this.
Very random question. This goes back to a question we asked on a podcast that we did. So you were locked in, let's say, a 12 by 12 room, okay? And you have to fight for survival.
How fun.
Okay? All right?
Depends on what we're fighting.
Exactly. All right? Roosters, chickens.
Nah, not a problem.
All right? How many do you feel like that you could overcome and survive in a room before you were overtaken?
Here's a look at your forecast.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Today with our high nearing 80, staying mostly clear.
Regular old farm roosters, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe
They're
half a
ticked
dozen.
off.
Half a dozen.
Half a dozen?
Maybe. At most.
At most? All right, so here's our producer. You know what I mean? He said he could take in a room 500.
Wouldn't even fit in a room, man.
That's what I'm saying. You're just gonna be. You're just overwhelmed. Even in a room, even in a big room, right?
Right? Yeah, because they're mean.
There's no way you're gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say you're in a 30 by 30 room.
It's a little different, but they're all still coming at you.
Right?
They're coming right to you.
I mean,
they're not going to stand
well,
away.
let's say it's in a 30 by 30 room. How many chickens? How many roosters are you fending off?
A few more. 10 maybe?
10?
Yeah.
Before they just take you,
Right.
overtake you?
Yeah,
because I mean, it's spurs, right?
Right, Spurs. Heck yeah, they're mean. Because we have a rooster out there, and just trying to grab at things at the house is fun.
Okay.
He's mad.
All right, so
Some aren't mad ones now. If you're talking trained ones that are, you were just talking farm ones, it'd be way more.
No, they're mad. They're wanting to hurt you.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Fighting roosters, yeah.
What are you saying, 10?
Yeah, 10.
10. Random question. You are locked in a room, okay? And you have to fight for survival.
Okay.
Against chickens, roosters in particular. How many roosters do you feel, if you're in just a room, how many roosters would have to be in the room before they would end your life? They would kill you.
Oh my gosh. I feel like 10.
10?
10? I don't know. Is that a bad number?
That's your call. It's like, this is your fight.
I've never fought a rooster, so I have no idea.
Oh, I know. I mean, I haven't been in a rooster fighting situation, but just if I thought you're going to say 10.
I'm going to say 10.
You think 10 of them would?
Yeah.
Are you saying you would win against 10, but 11 is that you're done?
Sure, yeah.
All right, is that what you're going to? So
the rooster we had was like a baby rooster, though. We had like a miniature when we had chickens, so.
These are fighting roosters.
Oh, okay.
I mean, think it's just a ticked off rooster. He's coming for you. So, do you know how many our producer Adam says he could fight off?
How many?
500.
What?
There's no way, right?
No.
There's no way.
I don't know if you can even get 500 in this boat.
There's no way you're gonna survive. I don't care. I don't care if you were on a soccer field trying to fight 500 chickens that wanted roosters that wanted you dead. You're done, right?
There's no way.
Would you say Adam's an idiot?
Yes, I would.
Perfect. All right. So the question is, you're in a room, just a normal sized room. How many roosters could you fight off before they killed you? You gotta think, like mad roosters, like they're coming at you, attacking you. How many roosters?
Well,
You can't leave the room. I mean, it's you or them.
I mean, I've never seen a mad rooster before. I haven't been around chickens a lot, but I'm gonna say I could take part of, like, are they all in there at the same time?
All
Or
at
is
the
it
same
one
time.
after
No,
another?
all at the
Oh.
same time. I mean, it's going to be an overwhelming attack. They're coming after you.
What'd you say?
You can't tell her.
Mad roosters. I don't know. Is this a trick question?
It's not a trick question.
What'd you say?
What I said doesn't matter.
I want to know how many you can do.
All right, so this comes from Adam Carter.
Uh-huh.
We had this conversation on a podcast, and he says that he believes he could be locked in a room with 500 chickens, and he would win.
Well, I could easily do 501.
And I said, there's no way. 500 chickens is overwhelming. I mean,
Yeah.
these guys have been around chickens, and they each said 10.
10 in a room? And they could kill you?
Have you ever seen how
Ever seen the cockfights and all the chicken fights?
No, but I got...
They got big spurs like the turkeys, and they're just like coming in, just like freaking just hammering down.
Well, I can also grab it by its neck and ring it.
I
Like
know, that's what I'm
goose.
saying. So
No.
how many times can you swing around and grab their necks before they stab you to death?
Maybe like 40? I don't
40?
know.
Think 40?
Yeah.
All right, we're going 40.
What'd you
Kendall
say?
Jones. Kendall Jones says 40.
What'd you say?
You were locked into a room. Let's say this room, okay? Mm-hmm. You have no weapons, just your hands, feet, mouth to defend yourself, okay? How many angry roosters could you fend off before they killed you?
All of them.
No. There's a number. There's a
Why does there
number.
have to be a number?
Well, like you have to give a number. Like, I mean, could you?
I'm
could
big
you?
compared to a rooster.
No, you are, but they're all in the room at the same time. So I mean, what is there? There 10? Could you have 10 roosters in here angry at you that you could fight and kill them all?
Easily.
All right, easily 10. All right, 40.
No, 40 would probably be, 40 or 50 would probably be the max.
You think 50 would be your
Oh,
max?
yeah.
50's the max. And I say this because the producer of our TV show, Adam, said that he could fight off 500.
Holy
There's no way, right?
that's a lot. Look at all those talons coming at you.
I know, right? Think about all the hooks
Yeah.
that they're throwing. There's no way. So you're 40-50.
40, 50, yeah.
There you go, Adam.
All right, Adam. So there's been some feedback from some people.
Just because it's ridiculous does not mean it is not true.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. So what animal what animal would you say you're most afraid of?
Oh, man. I think we talked about before, the one that most practically scares me is like when you're walking back at night in the dark from a hunt, and there's always that thought of that mountain lion.
Chupacabra.
Oh, sorry, we were on a different page.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, the mountain lion thing always freaks me out, like them jumping on your back, biting your neck,
Oh, yeah.
killing you right there, dragging you in a tree and eating your guts out. That one kind of scares me a little bit.
Wow, that's pretty detailed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I went there. No, I don't know. Practically, it's that. I mean, being out in the ocean, there was one time I was like, I'm tired of the seaweed, and I probably swam about 30 yards offshore, down to where like you get to the second sandbar, and then it starts to drop off into the abyss. And I went to the edge of the abyss and was swimming out there. And there was a moment I was like, I am not at the top.
Because
of the
you
food
see
chain.
where Daniel goes to Pensacola all the time. Daniel Arms,
Yeah.
our family homestead, one of our staffers, good friends, and they do that shark fishing off the bank.
Yeah, they're there. Well, so the day before we go, Jessica, one of the women, one of the nurses that went with us, she sends out a video of a guy in Pensacola at the hotel that they stayed in, and he flew a drone out up over the ocean.
Is that where that big hammerhead?
Well, no, there's probably 35 or 40 sharks swimming around like 20 feet from people, just like all over. And so Casey's like,
Your wife doesn't do with the water really anyway, right?
But guess where Casey went?
What?
Casey swam out to the second sandbar with me. I couldn't believe it. I still don't believe it.
Wow.
I still don't believe it. She also swam out there with one of the nurses and one of the firefighters, so maybe that was like the thing. But still, she swam all the way out there, and she was just the whole time just like, oh gosh, just the total nervous I'm gonna die laughter.
Yeah.
Hysterical. So, but no, she did it. I still can't believe it. Faced her fears.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's really impressive.
Yeah.
So school's starting back, which also means the fall's rolling around.
Yes.
And so kind of looking at, you ready for this, Adam? Filming for season
Whoa.
13.
We're there.
Can
Lucky
you
number
believe
13.
that? 13 seasons of Final Descent Outdoors.
It's unreal. God is good.
God is good, and it's a labor of love. I mean, I think I've shared this before. We went into this thinking that it was 90% business or 90% hunting, 10% business, and learned really quick it's just the opposite of that. It's so much business aspect to do it.
It's
Sponsor
so much
relations. It is so much work.
Yeah.
Man. And when we get to this point,
Every year, we're like, so are we going to do another?
yeah, we kind of do. We're like, all right, we're gonna do another one. Can we pull it off? But there's bucket list things that are still out there that I want to do and accomplish, and the Lord continues to use it, like
Yes.
in incredible ways to speak to people and to challenge people and to draw people to Himself. And so it's kind of hard, this is where we get tired, because we are about 10 episodes in of production and the work aspect of it. We're
and
about 10
all of them
in.
are in different phases.
Yeah.
At this point, like some are completely done, some have got just a few things to do, and then some are like they've just gone out of pre-production.
They're babies.
They are just fresh out of the womb at this moment.
That's
So
right.
They've got work to be done on them. But like you were saying earlier, Jake's been a major help with all this stuff too. So
We love Jake. We should have Jake on.
He'd be a great zoom in.
It would be fun to zoom Jake in.
He just gets on. He's like, guys, this is a great time for me to tell you that I quit.
Maybe we shouldn't.
No,
like,
we can't.
I've been waiting for an opportunity to have both of you together, so I could tell y'all that I don't want to work for you anymore. And
oh gosh,
wouldn't that be horrible?
Maybe we shouldn't have him. I don't want to take a chance.
Never mind.
I don't want to take a chance.
We're not going to have him on.
Take a chance.
But we're rolling around. We're going to start filming for season 13. I'm going to kick off my season by going to Wyoming. I'm going to go up and hunt with Trey.
Again, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go up and hunt with AA Outfitters. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to go back for the first time in several years. I'm going to
redeem
go back.
yourself.
No, I didn't kill it. I didn't kill an antelope last year. That's the first time.
That's what I say. You got to redeem yourself.
I'm 4 out of 5. Last year was the first time I didn't kill one. And so I'm going back next year or this coming year. I guess a couple weeks. I'm going to go up there and try to kill me a goat with my bow. And then I'm going to go back and hunt the Miller Ranch.
Oh,
I haven't hunted at the Miller in a long time.
That's been a minute.
Beautiful property, 60,000 acres in West Texas. Going to go out there and hunt whitetail with Miller. Me and old B-Rhett, Whip Will.
The old Whip himself.
Yeah, we're going to go and do late season muzzleloader in Missouri.
Okay.
In between Christmas and New Year, I think is when we're going to fall into that. We are going to do. I hit you up the other day and gave you some dates. We're going to go hunt Sandhill cranes again with Spring Creek Outfitters.
So I need to get those again so I can put them on the calendar for real.
Please do.
Okay, I will.
You didn't go last time. So we got to get you this time.
I was planning on going, and I was ticked that I didn't get to go.
What did you get? COVID?
I got the Rona.
You got a Rona.
I got the Rona. That
Yeah.
was the first round of it. That one sucked.
Yeah, that was the suck the life out of you. I got it the first time at 4th of July last year.
Yeah.
So, which we didn't even talk about. You know what? That's a whole nother podcast. Us talking about our 4th of July situation.
Oh, gosh. Hey, next year it's going to get even more real. Austin found a thing. Yeah.
All right, that's another podcast altogether.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going to do that hunt with B-Rhett Will, and then we are going to go to Old Mexico like we always do. Maybe you were able to go.
I told Casey, I was like, I'm going.
You need Pepe's burritos.
I need Pepe's burritos, and I also just.
It was such a
fun trip.
It's so good.
Such a fun
going
trip.
to Tucson, flying to Tucson, then going across the border.
Such a fun trip.
Going into Old Mexico. And I'm going to go hunt with Sonora's Premier Outfitters with that episode just aired as well. Me hunting my mule deer down there.
What do you think you try to do when you go this time? Whatever's in season?
I'm just going to shoot whatever I can.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not picky.
Yeah.
I like pulling the trigger.
Javelinas?
How about I got to kill a javelina. I haven't done that yet. Yeah. But we are looking at August 2023.
For real.
Going to Africa.
Like actually happening.
That's what I've been told.
Okay.
That's what I've been told.
This is 2 years?
We tried to go in 20.
Yeah.
We tried to go in 21.
Yeah.
Tried to go in 22. So this will be year 4 of trying.
Yes.
So our buddy Roy with Thorn Broadheads has kind of lined this up for us to be able to go and do this hunt.
Mm-hmm.
We got airline tickets.
Yeah, we got those.
We got airline tickets. We've got
which, come to think about it, I guess it's kind of a deal, isn't it, at this point?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
That was a great purchase.
Yeah, no doubt. We got airline tickets, all those things, and so we are going to go in August of 2023 to Africa to hunt. And I couldn't be more excited about it. Definitely a bucket list for me to go. The outfitter there has hooked me up with a couple different animals.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna do a warthog, an impala, springbok, a wildebeest, some other things. But there's one animal in Africa that I really, really want to kill,
mm-hmm.
and it's the endangered white rhino. I'm kidding.
And PETA shut us down.
Cancel
culture.
Joking. Is a kudu.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a bit less endangered as the white rhino. No, I want to do a kudu, and so we've already got that worked out. Kind of told him that's one of the animals on my bucket list,
mm-hmm.
and so I'm really pumped about that. You know what I'm not excited about? 18 hours flying on an airplane.
It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. I've not flown to Africa, but I've flown to China.
Yeah,
and that was a 20 hour.
I wish you were wearing that China Pearl shirt when you went.
Oh gosh. Oh, there's so many China stories that we could tell on this podcast. So many.
You almost got arrested.
I did almost get arrested.
I mean, they grabbed you.
No, the guy put his hands on me.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, well, this is how I die in communist prison.
I mean, when you're human trafficking people.
Gosh. To the Lord.
I didn't say what kind of human trafficking. I was trafficking humans to the narrow road,
to the narrow path.
That's right.
Of righteousness.
You were on a mission trip,
yes,
and which going into
under student visa,
under student visas,
doing
and
research,
communist control. Yeah. Y'all were there sharing the gospel.
Yeah.
Telling people about Jesus, and somebody turned you in.
Yeah. We were peeing for people and telling them about Jay is how we had to talk about it.
Okay. Peeing for people? That's super weird.
I know, it was funny.
We're peeing for people.
Peeing for people and talking about Jay.
Okay. What was nice is that you blended in once you ran into the crowd.
Yes.
You didn't stand out at all as a pale-skinned ginger.
Yes. No.
In China.
And a fat guy.
And a fat guy, because nobody's fat, right?
Like, there were a few, but fat guys there are, that's how you know they're rich.
Oh, okay.
Because they have money to purchase
I would
food.
be a wealthy man in China. Is that what you're saying?
You would be a monster of a man in China.
I did a mission.
I was a monster of a man in China. You would be a Sasquatch of a man.
One of my favorite trips that I've done a mission trip, I went and videoed in Guatemala.
Yeah.
And we went
to big guy there too.
Oh, bro. I went to Tecpan. Tecpan is where we stayed, and we would go into the market and buy we'd shop for different things, but we'd go and buy tortillas in the morning. And
sounds like my kind of trip already.
Oh, bro, they're cooking on those big.
Gosh.
They'd roll the dough and they were throwing them down on the deal and cooking them right there. On the street, on these walks right there on the street.
What did you live on in Guatemala? I ate tortillas.
It was so good, but the Guatemalan people are tiny people, and so most of the men barely came above my belly button.
Oh my gosh!
And so you just picture me.
It's like
walking through.
You look like a Nephilim.
Oh, I mean, I was waiting for somebody to sling a slingshot and hit me in the head, I mean, I was this behemoth of a man. Well, then we went into these remote villages. We went to one village where they had not had a white Anglo visitor in 8 years.
Wow.
So when we went there, kids 8 and under, they ain't never seen
a whitey
one of me.
They ain't never seen a Caucasian.
They ain't never seen a Caucasian. And because they're that native blood, like they don't have body hair. They don't have facial hair, right? No armpit hair. No, a lot. I mean, they'd
have thought I was a demon,
bro. I've never had my face touched so much by those little kids coming up and just wanting to touch my beard, like just pull and touch my facial because they've never seen somebody with a beard.
Genetics there.
Yeah, and so I'm this pasty white, giant
Viking,
6'2.5", 290 pounds of just beast. Walking around, and these kids are just like,
he's gonna eat me.
Exactly. He's gonna step on my house, crush it. Papa, run!
Where's Papa Smurf?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't step on your mushroom.
But anyway, so tell about this story about how you were on this mission trip and you almost got arrested.
Oh, well, we were doing research for
Jay.
For J. For the
J
so we went
stands for Jesus. Okay.
Arrested. So we were doing research, and we had these surveys, and they were definitely they were strategically created.
Okay.
Like, so there were questions about, family, friends, locations, all that stuff, but then like every fifth or sixth question would be about faith. Like, have you ever heard the name of Jesus? Stuff like that. And remarkably, I would say 98% of the people that we had that survey, they were like, who?
Never heard the name of Jesus.
Never heard the name.
Wow.
Had no idea. No clue.
Wow.
It put drastic perspective. They had heard, and most of them, if they had heard the name of Jesus, it was solely because of the People's Republic Church. That's kind of like a Unitarian kind of.
Okay.
It's a distorted Christianity. So it's kind of like more geared at you being a better citizen than a actual like a Christian
follower, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we were there and we were doing the survey, and then I had one guy come up once and look at the survey questions, and he looked at me and he handed me the survey back and he walked off, and I was like, oh, that was kind of weird, because I'm in this. I can see the other guys that we were on the mission trip with, but I mean, they're 200 yards over there and he's 300 yards over there, so I'm pretty much alone at this point. And
how old are you?
I'm like 20.
Okay.
So they're coming up, people filling out the forms. They hand it back to me, and I say "shay shay." That's about one of the only words I knew. "Shay shay" and "ega," because "ega" was "shay shay" was thank you.
Shay shay.
Yeah, "shay shay," and then "ega" is like when you get a menu, you'd be like "ega, ega, ega, ega," because it's like one of that, one of that, one of that, one of that. That's kind of what you're saying.
Ega.
Yeah, and then I finally learned like "our son."
Oh man, next time I go get a pedicure.
Yeah, ega, ega, ega.
Like ega, ega, ega.
Yeah, and they're all gonna be like. They're all going to be like Taiwanese.
Probably.
We don't speak Mandarin, white boy. Yeah. So anyway, we're filling out these things.
Here's the deal. You always feel like you're being talked about.
Yes.
Right?
You are.
100% being talked about.
So
if I just am able to speak shishi.
Yeah. Shay shay.
Shay shay?
Shay shay is Mandarin is thank you in Mandarin.
Shay shay.
Shay shay. So if they actually speak Mandarin, then shay shay would be.
And then what's the other one?
Ega.
Ega. Shay shay and ega. I got to remember this.
Here's another easy one. Mayo.
Mayo.
Mayo is like, I don't want it.
Mayo.
Mayo. So they're like, try to touch your finger, like, mayo.
Mayo.
And then they're like,
shishi.
Or they'll look at you strange, like they have no idea what you're saying. They're like, we don't use mayonnaise. So, but
it's my favorite condiment.
It is. Can't have enough of it.
Yep.
It's the salve of life.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Don't get me started on mayo.
All right, so finish your story.
So anyway, this guy that came and filled out the survey at one point, he walks off, and then 10 minutes later he comes back, grabs my stack of papers, and puts his hands on me. And at this moment, I'm thinking, I ain't going to commie prison. I ain't going. I ain't going. And I look over at my buddy, and he's a little closer at this point, and he sees a little bit of what's going on. But at this point, I'm just kind of like doing the old backpedal, and the guy's, rambling, and pointing at me, and he's pointing at the paper. So the jig's up at this point. Like he kind of knows.
Yeah.
And so I'm like looking at my buddy.
Is he having authoritative, like?
Well, he's pointing at the papers. He's pointing at me, and he's pointing at the consulate. Which I know enough to know at that point, A plus B plus C at that point.
It's me in prison.
Is not something that I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
So I pretty much just kind of hightail it. I just kind of turned and just hit the eject button and walked off, and we ended up kind of going on our own way and went to another town and stuff like that. But no, we were in like a moderately sized city at that point, so like we were definitely closer to some of the eyes that could have seen stuff. But no, it was a scary moment. It was definitely a scary moment because I walked up to my buddies. I was like, I think I almost went to prison. They were like, yeah, what was up with that? And I was like, well, the dude was grabbing me and he was talking to the papers and talking to me. He's pointing at the freaking building. And I'm like, and they were all like, yeah, we should go.
Yeah, we need to get it.
So we went and found the guy that's the journeyman that was with us. And we were like, so this happened. And he was like, yeah, we're going to move on.
Yeah,
so,
it's time to get out of here.
But, I mean, we were there legally. We were there under student visa, and we were handing out surveys, and we were gathering information. We were doing what we say we were doing. But
for the gospel.
But I think he knew that our motives were
skewed,
different than what they were being led on to be.
Right.
But no, that was a very eye-opening trip. I had never talked to so many people that didn't know what the name of Jesus was at all.
And that just kind of segues into a great way to wrap up our podcast today. There are so many people in this world who just don't know.
Yeah.
And it kind of rolls around to the Great Commission, right? So we operate, outside of doing Final Descent Outdoors or Full Strut Media and our other outlets, we also operate As You Are Going Ministries. And the name As You Are Going comes from Scripture. It comes from the Great Commission, where it says, Jesus is talking about going and making disciples, and he says, as you are going, make disciples. Well, what's that mean?
It means in everything you are doing.
Every aspect of life, right? When we are interacting with our friends, when we are interacting with our kids, when we're interacting with family, when we're waiting in line at Walmart, there's opportunities to speak the gospel. There's opportunities to share the gospel. There's an opportunity to speak truth. And in those moments, as we are going, we are to be making disciples, encouraging people in their faith. And, that's what Final Descent Outdoors has been about. That's why you hopped on to do this. It wasn't for the great pay.
Nope.
It wasn't for the perks of the job.
Nope.
I mean, who doesn't want to flip off of an ice chest and land on their neck next to a 9-foot alligator and almost die? Who doesn't want to participate in such things?
Sign me up.
Everyone wants to participate. Who doesn't love going on a set to film a product commercial or a product video and then be covered in poison ivy for 3 weeks? Who doesn't want that?
I forgot about that.
Who doesn't want that?
I blocked that one out.
The whole reason that you came on, and I remember we had our conversation, and we were talking about, because I was desperate. I'm editing in iMovie. No idea what we're doing, trying to pull this thing together when you came on board with us. And you why? I mean, why did you do it?
I mean, for me, I love being able to reach people in their element.
Okay.
And the thing that I remember you saying that stuck with me the most was, we want to reach the good old boy. And what more of a comfortable and receptive place can you find yourself than sitting in your lazy boy in your underwear at 8:00 at night?
Yeah.
Like you are in your most comfortable and receptive state.
Yeah.
And I'm super passionate about men's ministry. You get the fathers, you get the family.
That's right. Yeah.
And I mean, all of those things just lined up and collaborated, and I believe in As You Are Going. I believe that that's what we're called to do. I mean, that's Paul talks about that in Colossians. Whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God.
That's right.
And that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. I ate those ribs today for the glory of God.
I did.
Texas-Lahoma Barbecue.
Havana.
That's kind of been our mission, though. And it hasn't kind of been our mission. It's been our mission from the
Some
get-go.
days.
Some days. That's been our mission from the day one, that we do all of this so that we have an opportunity to be able to share the gospel.
Yeah.
And
those are the moments that keep us going.
It is, man. When we get those emails from people that say, man, the show this week touched me. The show leads to an opportunity to go speak at a church somewhere, and somebody at that church, or I go to a church. I go to Bedford, Pennsylvania, and 86 men raise their hand and say, I want to begin a relationship with Jesus.
I remember you call me on those, and it's in those moments when we sit here and we look at each other and go, are we going to really do this again?
Yeah.
And then we remember 86 Men. We remember the connections with kids. We remember the connections with people that were sitting on a bed ready to commit suicide. Like, we remember all of those things and go,
I remember standing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
After a dinner with a sponsor.
I remember praying over a friend and a sponsor.
Who there was 2 incredible moments this last year at SHOT Show where we walked up on a meeting that had just ended at one of our sponsors' booth, and I could tell that the guy for this particular company had whatever had transpired in that meeting was uncomfortable for him, and he was upset about it. And remember, we stepped in and said, "Can we pray for you?" And we walked into that meeting room and we prayed over that man in the SHOT Show floor in Las Vegas. And he was bawling.
And I remember us walking out of there, and we just went, that was the reason. If we came to Las Vegas for that alone, it was worth it.
Right, to encourage him. But that wasn't all that was done.
No.
You know, we go and have dinner with one of our partners that we've known for a long time, and afterwards they give us a big hug, and we give them a big hug. And, you know, they say, I want you to know, the podcast has played a huge role in me getting my life on track with the Lord.
And then we both like gaping jaw.
Yeah. Was it talking about the China Pearl or
Which part was it?
What part really resonated with you?
Gosh.
You know, what part was it?
What part?
But it really has been an opportunity for us to just do life, to just not, we try don't ever to be pushy with the gospel. We want to be open, want to be seeker sensitive. But I want people to see that we're just normal dudes. We make mistakes, man. I am not perfect. You are not perfect. You're a lot closer to it than me. But
I'm just glad you recognize it.
No, I do, bro. But we're normal dudes, doing our best to live a life that glorifies the Lord. Not that we don't make mistakes along the way and make, fall short of those. But
I think we do a good job of acknowledging that, because we need to be better as American Christians in recognizing that when we are in our weakness, that's when Christ is going to be in his strongest.
Amen.
And that's the biggest problem with men. Like you say it every time you go speak somewhere. The hardest part about men's ministry is you got to admit that you're what?
Yeah. For you to, it's the hardest things. Number one, we have to admit that we're wrong. And number two, we have to admit that we need help.
Yeah.
You have to admit that I'm a sinner. I'm wrong. And you have to admit I need help. I need Jesus because I can't do it on my own. And that is a very difficult thing for men to do, is to admit that we're wrong and then ask for help.
Yeah. And that's what we have to try to be examples of. We have to try to be examples of going, I'm not perfect and I don't have it all together and I need Jesus.
Yeah. And admit that we're wrong.
Yeah.
Like you're wrong about being able to fight all 500 chickens.
No. Just because it's ridiculous doesn't mean it's not true.
Guys, thank y'all so much for supporting what we do. It really is incredible. Like,
and every single person that listens to this, every sponsor that's a part of it, every person is an integral part, and God has every single person in their place.
And you know who plays a big role in this and they don't know it yet? Burlington Northern Santa Fe.
Call us.
I want to send them another email. If you know somebody that works at Burlington Northern, we would love to have a conversation with them about becoming an official partner of the Old Final Descent Outdoors podcast. No, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Adam, how can people? You're back. You're posting stuff on YouTube.
Sort of, yeah.
You're back doing some videos.
We're doing some videos. You can find us on YouTube at Hurley Films, HearlyFilms. We post about once a week, every couple weeks, just vlogging. I am 100 subscribers away from 5,000.
Dang, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you're murdering me.
Getting
You're murdering Final. Why don't you send some folks over?
Thank you, Daniel.
I know, right? You got 2,000 more than me.
I don't know how.
I know, it's crazy.
I'll send them. We'll see. Yeah. So if you watch Hurley Films, make sure you go. We really do need people to go like the Final Descent Outdoors YouTube page.
Yeah,
and
they need
follow
to do that.
and subscribe to it.
Yeah.
All of our YouTube episodes are on the free. This is up there.
Yep.
So
yeah, a lot of other things. I got some other cool videos coming up. I take my boys fishing. I made it's a 30-minute video of my kids catching fish.
Yeah.
So much fun. We called it the JoJo Fishing Show.
Yeah.
Because JoJo, my 8-year-old, outfished us all, brother. Tore it up. But anyway,
Yeah.
you can find Final Descent Outdoors. You can order a cool merch like what Adam's wearing over here.
Get yourself a China Pearl shirt.
Get you a China Pearl shirt, any Final Descent gear. You can go to finaldescentoutdoors.com, shop the store, support what we do. And then you can also, do you know that you can make a tax-deductible donation to As You're Going Ministries
I
by
do.
going
I always
to
think about
asyouaregoing.com?
I still want to do a big crowdfunding campaign. I think that would give people a cool opportunity to be involved.
Yeah.
Someday, maybe.
Yeah, someday. We'll add that to the list of things that we need to do. And you can also follow us on social media. Obviously, YouTube, Final Descent Outdoors, Final Descent Outdoors on Facebook, and then on the old Twitter and Instagram, it's just FD Outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd love for you to interact and follow us there as well.
Yep.
Adam, thanks for your time.
It was fun.
We should do it again sometime.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Did I mention the Hilltop closed?